Manhyia Palace, Jabremu is set for the one-week observation of the late Asantehemaa Nana Konadu-Yiadom III today. Dignitaries, including the Vice President, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, are expected to be in attendance, and Nana Yiadom is there for us and joins us live with updates. Nana, what can you report?
Jabrim, where we are having the one-week observation of the late Asantehemaa Nana Konadu-Yiadom III, the 14th Queen Mother of the Ashanti Kingdom. The 14th Queen Mother Nana Konadu-Yiadom's one-week observation is what is currently happening at the Manhyia Palace, driving thousands of people into the seat of the Golden Stool and the seat of the Ashanti King, Otumfuo Osei II. But then where we are is the palace of the Asantehemaa herself, that is Nana Konadu-Yiadom. And so we'll pan a little bit for you to see. Inside here is the palace of Nana Konadu-Yiadom the third. At the forecourt of the Manhyia Palace is where we have Jabrim, where the Asantehemaa will be seated alongside other dignitaries. What we can tell you right now is that the Vice President, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, will be leading government delegation into to mourn with the Asantehemaa Otumfuo Osei II. It is a beautiful display of culture and custom here at the Manhyia Palace this morning. The funeral is expected to commence at exactly 12 p.m. that's midday, and then we would have the Asantehemaa seated with all the other dignitaries. It's been a display of culture. You can see that priests who are in here are doing what they have to do. Chiefs have started arriving, politicians have started arriving, but the bigger one will be the arrival of the Asantehemaa Otumfuo Osei II, and then the Vice President, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman. And so inside the palace of the Asantehemaa, you can see that some chiefs are moving out. They are going to Jabrim itself to get seated while we await the arrival of the Asantehemaa. This is where we have the Book of Condolence, and where the dignitaries are expected to come in and then sign and give out their words of tribute to the late Asantehemaa Nana Konadu-Yiadom. You can see the beautiful portraits of the late Asantehemaa being decorated or being displayed here, decorated all over here, and it is signifying the kind of power that she has, or she was granted during her tenure as the Queen Mother of the Ashanti Kingdom. And suffice me to say that this is a significant day in the Ashanti culture, because when it comes to the Ashanti setting, the Queen Mother is superior. She holds the counseling role and plays the advisory role in everything at the palace, and so her demise becomes a big blow to the Asante, especially because he is not just the son, customarily not just the son of the Asantehemaa, but her biological or his biological sister. And so this is a loss in two sides. He has lost the Queen Mother of the Ashanti Kingdom, and also lost his biological sister. And so the funeral, when you set in the Manhyia Palace, has been divided into so many parts. We have one happening here at the palace of the Asantehemaa, and then one happening on the roadsides and the roads leading to the Manhyia Palace. And the bigger one with the Asantehemaa seated is one that we have at Jabrim. So this is what is currently happening here. We're expecting Vice President J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman to touch down at the Manhyia Palace anytime soon, and then we would have the Asantehemaa also seated with his entourage. We are going to have all paramount seats, the over 60 paramount seats in the Ashanti Kingdom, seated as we observe the 1 week of the late Asantehemaa Nana Konadu-Yiadom. Queen mothers are gallantly seated as we begin to mourn the Queen mothers. We would want to show you or paint a picture to you, get into a clear perspective how the palace of the Asantehemaa really looks like. And I think that you would want to have a view of yourself, because it is not ordinary that we would get to the inner perimeter itself of the Asantehemaa. But then we have the chance now to show you how the inner perimeter of the Asantehemaa Palace looks like. And so this is the inner perimeter where family are seated, the family of the Asantehemaa, the Yoko family to be specific, where they are all seated and they are going to sympathize with the family or the Asante himself. I'll let you also have a view of how her sitting looks like anytime the Asantehemaa is around. This is how her sitting looks like. Her queen mothers or her sub-queen mothers are also seated every time. And then if we can get a clear view is where we have her stool. Inside there where we are getting into is where we have the stool of the Asantehemaa, and anytime she is no more, this stool is clad in black. It is covered with black, and so you can see the stool of the Asantehemaa covered with a black cloth that is and it's being turned over. In Asante custom, it is termed as it is to say that the occupant of the seat is no more, or the occupant of the seat has passed. And so that is how come the seat of the Asantehemaa is covered with black, and then it is turned over. And so all the chiefs or all the queen mothers who are around the Asantehemaa from her left to her right would also take their seat when the funeral begins at exactly 12 o'clock. And so, Mami, see, this is how things look like over here at the Manhyia Palace. Mourners are expected to come in to mourn with the family of the Asantehemaa. They started drumming. When you hear this drum, it tells you that mourning has officially begun at the palace of the Asantehemaa. And so that is the significance of the drums that you hear over here. They are telling you that in no time the funeral or the 1 week will start, and that mourning can begin. Anybody can now start to cry from now onwards. And so this is what is happening here at the Manhyia Palace. We painted a clear picture of how the palace looks like as we prepare for the 1 week observation of the late Asantehemaa Nana Konedu Yadom. Now people have started trooping in. They are coming in their numbers. Some of them will pay their last respect to the stool, and they are going to mourn with the stool, because it is a stool that has lost its occupants, and the kingdom also losing its occupants. And so that is how things look like over here. Priests are coming, pastors are coming, chiefs and queen mothers are all coming in to mourn with the Asante Nutumfo or sent to the second. So over to you.
Anabuachi Yadom, they're giving us live updates of the Jabre move of the Asantehemaa.